everybody. Welcome to the Joe Morley Sports Show. I'm Joe Morley. I have a special guest with me today, Mac from TalkSmackwithMac. I'm just going to get right into it. This guy, if you don't follow him on Instagram, you need to get over to his page, check out his content. He does his own thing over there. I mean, if you guys like my stuff, you're going to like his stuff. It's dead on, and I would say we're very compatible, right? Would you agree with that?
Oh, most definitely.
So
all of your content is very, very similar to mine. I mean, the first thing that I notice when I see you is you have your Raiders hat on. I'm born and raised in Las Vegas, and I currently live in Las Vegas, so I'm ready.
So yeah, see, and that's a huge move, right? I think the city of Las Vegas has deserved this for a while. They get a bad rap because of everything that goes on there, the gambling and stuff, and how players used to be perceived. But these guys are making millions of dollars. They're not going to go ruin it, for a couple more dollars. I don't think the gambling is ever going to be an issue anymore.
I don't think so either. And with the evolution of technology, online betting is pretty much easy. It doesn't matter if you're in Las Vegas or if you're anywhere else. Gambling is going to happen. But like you said, these guys make way too much money. Why are they going to waste it gambling when they're more focused on working on their craft and try to bettering themselves?
Now the partying, I can see some good parties going on.
Oh, definitely. It's always going to be the partying under the bright lights of Las Vegas, baby.
But yeah, I think you guys are getting a good team. You guys started off with the Knights, so hockey paved the way basically in Vegas. It's only a matter of time till you get every professional sports team over there.
I definitely agree. When you've seen the reaction from the city and the love from the fans when the Knights came, we gathered around them and we supported them as they were going through that first season, that first miraculous season. We know that expansion teams are not easy to start, man. So the fact that they did what they did in their first season was pretty special, and we have a lot of love for the Knights.
Yeah, and that's what I said. I'm a Raider fan, but I would have preferred, as an NFL fan, I would have preferred the Chargers going over there and getting the love from the Vegas, or they're in LA and not getting any love. So, but I'll take it. I'll go to Vegas for the weekend over Oakland, for the day
definitely.
or so. And I'll go. I'll tell my wife, hey, it's a Monday night game, but I got to go over there on Thursday. That's where it starts. We got to get there on Thursday.
Yeah, definitely. The party starts on Thursday, man.
So I know one of the main differences, I don't really talk about it because I like to base my stuff on facts. And if I don't really know about it, I don't really talk about it. So I try not to talk basketball a lot just because I'm one of those seasonal fans. Like when it's playoff time, hey, I'm there. I'll watch a basketball playoff game all day. Yeah. Regular season, I just can't get into it. I've never been able to. But I know you talk basketball. I know you like basketball. What do you think about? Do you think they're going to actually get it together? They're going to actually show up in Orlando and get this done?
It's going to be taxing on the players. They're supposed to, once they enter, where they're playing at in that little bubble, they're not supposed to leave. I was in the military, man. That sounds like deployment to me. You can't see your family. You can't leave that little area that you're zoned to. So it's going to be mentally tough. And a lot of the casual fans, are forgetting about the mental side. So it's going to really show which players and teams are really going to bring it and really want that championship. They're talking about an asterisk by the championship win this year, but I couldn't disagree more. It's way harder. You got to stay focused. You got to stay in shape during the pandemic when no gyms were open. It was just what you had at your house. Granted, a lot of these guys have beautiful gyms in their houses, but it's really going to be exciting to see who's going to bring it.
And I think the NBA, I think they actually did a pretty good job at bringing the teams that were still in contention over to, to bring them still in and give them that shot because, like the Sacramento Kings and stuff like that, that they might have that chance to make the playoffs or be there. That now the fans don't have nothing to argue with. Like, hey, we brought you here. You had your little 8-game playoff. You didn't make it. Better luck next year, right?
Yeah, and I agree. I like how a few teams that were right outside of that 8th spot are getting their chance to try to make it. As a Laker fan, I didn't want to see Portland in the 8th seed in the first round. Damian Lillard could get hot, and he's one bad man. So I was like, okay, I'm good with the Grizzlies in the first round. Sweep them. Let's go to the next one. Now, I'm not saying the Trailblazers would beat the Lakers in the first round, but I think they could sneak a game in on us.
Well, and history's shown that Lakers and Portland have great playoff series. You know, it goes all the way back. And I remember being a kid and playing, basketball games on the Nintendo and stuff, and I would always take Portland just to play them. Just because of the great history that they've had. They never really get over that hump, and one day they will. But
yeah,
the Lakers Portland matchups are always good. I mean, from what I've seen in the playoffs, I could be wrong, but those are always matchups that I end up watching.
Over the years, the Trailblazers are always they bust our ass. With Brandon Roy, LaMarcus Aldridge is always giving us fits, and then Dame, CJ McCollum, the current guys that are giving us problems, and then back to Scottie Pippen and Rasheed Wallace and all them boys. They've been bringing it for a while. They've always had like one or two solid players on their teams always. So Trailblazers can be a problem.
So are you taking the Lakers over the Bucks?
Yeah, I am. And I know I'm being biased, but if you watch the game and you've seen how LeBron started turning it up right before the shutdown happened, he was turning it up on defense. He was giving Giannis fits. He was giving Kawhi fits. He was guarding the other team's best forward on a night-to-night basis, in addition to him putting up 25 and 11, shooting 36% from three-point line, and his free throw percentage. If you look at his last about 10 games, his free throw percentage is way higher than in the beginning of the season. He was bringing it. That's not even to mention Anthony Davis. Now, I want to see the Bucks get past the Sixers personally. The Sixers let Jimmy Butler go to the Heat, excuse me. Let Jimmy Butler go to the Heat so they could keep Tobias Harris and sign Al Horford, who gave Giannis problems last season. So the Sixers have had chemistry issues going through the season, but they have always been a playoff team. They're going to have their issues on a night-to-night basis throughout the season, but the playoffs is where the Sixers are going to turn it up. I would like to see the Bucks get past them before they start having championship aspirations. But the Bucks have looked phenomenal and almost unbeatable throughout the season. But when, the refs aren't making those little tic-tac calls and, people are actually able to try to grab Giannis and slow him down a little bit, I want to see how Giannis evolves from last year compared to this offseason and playoff stretch to see if the Bucks can make it. And on the west side, the Clippers, man, they are a built team. From 1 to 15, the Clippers are solid, but they don't have much ball handling. LeBron was making Lou Will look ridiculous at times when he would have Lou Will switch on LeBron on defense. But the Clippers are a tough team. Tough team.
See, and that's all we can ask for is competitiveness, and not just let one team run away with it. And that's basically what the NBA's had the last couple of years. So it's actually good to have some couple teams that could knock on that door, that could take over and win a championship. And that's what we as a sports fan, that's all you can ask for.
Competition is amazing this season. And like you said, that argument is there of this team or this team or this team. There's so many stacked teams. For a while there, it got boring and it got predictable. Warriors and whoever LeBron's on. And so now we're in a stretch where there's more duos taking over the lead. The competition is great. So I'm excited as a fan personally.
Yeah, and I think it means a little bit more to the Lakers this year because of the Kobe Bryant thing, death and all that. So I think it's going to bring a little bit more to them if they could do it just to bring that meaning back to LA. Do they need another championship? Probably not. They have enough, but nobody's going to hate the Lakers winning it in 2020 because of the Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, definitely.
So you want to talk about a little NFL? We can get into that.
Whatever you want, man.
We can talk a little bit NFL.
Let's do it.
Did you say that the Raiders were your team, or do you root for somebody else?
I'm a Buccaneers fan.
Oh,
I've been a Buccaneers fan my entire life, ever since Tony Dungy was the coach when I was a little kid. Um, I'm a Bucks fan, but with the Raiders coming to Las Vegas, I have to have a love for them. This is my city. I love my city. So I now have another team. Um, I definitely need to start learning more about the Raiders and their players, but I have a small grasp on a few of the players on the team.
well, then you got to week 7. You're going to be conflicted with yourself. Week 7, what was that, a Monday night?
I'm definitely taking the Buccaneers too.
Yeah, I'm going to try to come out there for that game. That's the one game that all my buddies are hitting me up to. Hey, let's go, Tampa Bay, Vegas. Let's go.
If you do go, I will definitely love to try to get a ticket. Maybe we could do something before the game.
Yeah, if I make it out there, we'll definitely hook up out there.
If they're having fans in the games by then.
And that's the big thing. And I think the NFL is one of those that they're pushing for it. I think the NFL has never slowed down this whole time. The one league that hasn't slowed down has been the NFL.
Yeah.
And I read something the other day that they're going to leave it up to basically the states, or that the teams play in, or the counties. And I would think that the mayor of Las Vegas, I think
Oh,
she's ready to open stuff up, right?
yeah. I think she would. If it's her choice, she's definitely having fans there for good and the bad.
Yeah, she'll take it. She just, I mean, Vegas is built on that income, so I understand it. I understand
Yes.
they're built on tourism and getting everybody in there. So I understand where she's coming from. She doesn't want the economy to drop. So I understand it, but and that stadium, every picture I've seen of it, and everybody drives by it, and you probably see it almost every day. That stadium has to be the best one in the NFL just by looks alone.
I think the stadium is beautiful. I've actually drove past it every time I went to school. So I've seen it being built from the ground up. I really want to see it inside as in person. I agree with you. It could be one of the top stadiums. I've unfortunately only been to one stadium, I believe, and that was just Aloha Stadium in Hawaii. But I'm sure the Cowboy Stadium is pretty nice. But yeah, man, even if it's up in that upper echelon, I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, I mean, we won't know for sure until we walk in the doors. But I actually compare it to like the Rams' new stadium, like looking at the pictures of this one being built and the same one, and it's like, man, the Rams. I don't know if it's just the black that makes it look good, the black coloring, but I mean, or just me being a fan and being biased about it, probably that too. But I like the black and just the way it's been lit up on the pictures and the videos that I've been seeing. It looks amazing.
It does. It does. They did a great job.
So are you high on Tampa Bay this year? Since you're a fan, you're buying into them.
All right, look, it would be hard not to, but being a Buccaneers fan, I told myself like last year or the year before that I will never expect good things from them, because every time I do, I get let down. We haven't been to the playoffs in like 13 years. We haven't won a playoff game in almost 20 years. So, uh, yeah, man, I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be great.
Well, I wouldn't expect you to say anything else. I expect you to say, yeah, that's my team. Yeah, we're going. A lot of people are high on them. I'm high on them. I think they're going to be good. I don't think they'll win their division, but I think they have to be better. They're going to have better quarterback play than Winston out there throwing 30 interceptions. So
Yeah.
that's the one good thing about bringing Tom Brady. He won't make those mental mistakes for Tampa Bay. Do I think they're Super Bowl caliber? I think they have a spot in the playoffs. And like I say, all you have to do is have a chip and the table and a chair, and be and once you're in the playoffs, anything can happen, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think they'll win the division. I think they have a chance to, but with their pretty much not being really an off season, it's going to take a few games, maybe like a 4-game stretch where they'll go like 1-3 or 2-2 in the beginning of the season until they could start gelling and get that chemistry down. Having a new quarterback come in, learning a new system there's gonna be a little bit of a growing curve. Yeah, you have the GOAT coming in, so I don't think it's going to be as long as any other quarterback. But there's going to be a little bit of time where he's getting to know his guys, where they like to catch the ball, all that good stuff. So I think the Saints will most likely win the division. They have a stacked team. I personally think this is Drew Brees' last run. He has that mighty fine job opportunity waiting for him, broadcasting. So that's looking pretty appealing in my eyes, making almost $20 million a year, not getting hit anymore.
Yeah.
So Drew Brees is going to bring it. They have a stacked team. Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, they're great. So I would like to see them meet up in the playoffs. I think it would be a pretty good game.
Yeah, and like I said, I think they're going to be competitive. I think they will be playoffs. I think 10 wins, 11 wins is good. But yeah, like I said, I think like you said, and I said, the Saints are probably your best team just because of how much they have, how much talent they have, how much they have to put on the field this year before they have to blow that team up. And like you said, Drew Brees goes on his way and all that. So it's good to see a realist Tampa Bay fan, because some of these guys that have been hitting me up are 16-0. We're going 16-0 and going to the ship, and it's like, all right, calm down.
It sounds good. It sounds good. But no, I try to be completely honest, hold my bias as much as I can with any sport and my favorite teams, favorite players. But the key to the Buccaneers, because Tom Brady is going to have the most talent around him since his undefeated team. That's hands down on the offensive end, best talent. He's never had two all-pro receivers, I don't believe, at the same time, unless Wes Walker was all-pro and Randy Moss. But I don't think so.
Yeah.
But Mike Evans and Chris Godwin with Gronk, with O.J. Howard and Cameron Braid, that's going to be one hell of an offense. But the key to the Buccaneers is their defense. If you look at the back half of the season, that young defense they picked it up. Their DBs, their starting DB was a second-year guy, and then 3 of their other DBs were rookies. So they're going to grow. They're going to get better. Not to mention they had one hell of a draft. So I'm excited. I'm excited as a Bucs fan.
Yeah, and they're not going to be, put in a bad situation every drive, when they turn over the ball and the team only has to go 30 yards to score a touchdown. So
Exactly.
it should help them out. And like you said, that defense, it has a bad name, it has a bad rep, but if you actually break down the stats and actually look at what they did, really, they had one game, a shootout against the Rams last year, where it's like a lot of the stats were blown out. And I think that defense is a lot better than what people are saying it. And I've been guilty of it, of saying like I'm not strong on the Bucs defense, but it's good enough. My only issue is that offensive line, which is it's not a horrible offensive line, but it's Tom Brady is used to like guys, like big guys just standing there. Not saying that New England always had a great offensive line, but they had the system to keep them in the pocket to be able to do it. And that's what I hope the Bucs are able to do, just keep them up.
The Bucs' first round pick in the draft was right tackle. He's going to be a huge upgrade on the O-line. We had solid center play and left guard play. Right guard definitely needs to pick it up. And Donovan Smith at the left tackle position, he needs to be more consistent. I completely agree. The key to success is keeping Tom healthy. He's old as hell, so we don't know how easy or he may get hurt. Keep him upright. You're right. That's going to be the key.
No, and you're right. I got 5 players. I'm gonna throw their name out there. You just tell me what you think about them. 5 NFL players. These are guys that have been in the news this whole offseason. I hear their name about a lot in fantasy, or just because a guy came in, they were hurt last year, or a guy came in and might challenge them for their job. So you just tell me what you think about them. This guy, he's just in the offseason just because of his contract of what he's probably going to get next year. It's Patrick Mahomes. We already know we could put him up as a great. I think him and Russell Wilson are right here, 1A and 1B to me as the best quarterbacks in the league. Would you pay him $45 million?
I would give him whatever he wants.
Whatever.
He's unstoppable.
Just hey, we'll hand you the blank check. You fill it out and then just show up, right?
I would say, hey, man, however much offensive talent you want, you save that money in this contract. But otherwise, you have what you want.
And that's what it comes down to. I've talked about it throughout some of my podcasts that quarterback salaries are kind of getting ridiculous, and it's you don't know where to stop. We don't know where to stop, and we've seen it over and over that when you pay your quarterback, your team drops a little bit.
Because they can't pay for talent around them.
But like Patrick Mahomes, you got to pay him. You have to pay him, but we all know what's coming. Like the rest of the team is going to struggle, and that's where I don't get. Like, where do we stop paying the quarterbacks? You know, the next guy. Where are we going to draw the line? Are we going to, in a few years have to pay like Carson Wentz $60 million a season?
I feel like let them keep making their money. These guys are getting in the football in the NFL is a brutal sport. You got to imagine like a track star weightlifter in one is coming full speed with pads and a helmet on and hitting you. That shit hurts. So pay those guys as much money as you can. There's enough money out there to go to everybody. But what I do think is going to happen is, like you said, if those quarterbacks start getting paid a lot, they're not going to have much talent around them. And how many times did we see Peyton Manning and Tom Brady take pay cuts so they could keep a good team around them? That's going to depend on the quarterback. But people want to get paid.
Yeah, you can't hate on people for getting paid, but you also like winning.
I love winning.
So you got to make your money, but make it somewhere that it's helping the team as well. I would say, but all right. So another guy is from your team, Mike Evans. This is the guy that people are debating and I don't know why people hate on. There's a lot more Mike Evans haters that I'm figuring out now than I ever thought there was. And I was big on Mike Evans when he got drafted. I was like, I thought the Raiders were actually going to draft him that year, and they ended up going a different direction. But I was like, man, I can imagine Mike Evans on the Raiders. But he hasn't he put up 1,000 yards every year that he's played.
He's chasing history. If he gets 1,000 yards this season, he'll break Randy Moss's record. That's for all the Mike Evans haters. That's one of the most consistent wide receivers in the history of the NFL.
And they don't like this guy. They're like, no, Chris Godwin's good. I understand Chris Godwin's good. You can have two good wide receivers on the same team, but you can't.
No
why?
Competition. There's one A, one
hate
B,
on
like
one of
you
them.
said.
Like there, people say he's slow, he's too big. I'll take Mike Evans. You give me Mike Evans on my team any day, I'll take him.
All right, you got Mike Evans at 6'5", 220 with the 40-inch vertical running a 4.5. 4.5 isn't too slow.
No, he's not good. That's what I don't get it. Like, I don't get where people come with that. Like, and I even put it out there earlier, and I was like, Mike Evans will be a top 10 fantasy receiver this year, hands down. Even,
yes.
Did I say top 10? Or I think I said top 5. He'll be up there. And like you said, how tall he is, how big he is. You don't think Brady's going to find that in the end zone all day?
So because of all the other weapons around him, in my mind, even at 43, if Tom Brady sees Mike Evans on a go route, one-on-one, he's throwing it up every time.
See, that's what I said. I said he's going to be like the Randy Moss season when Moss was over in New England. Just toss it up there. Yes. And Evans is good enough to go get it.
And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying Evans is good enough to make that play.
Yes.
It's just unwarranted hate, I guess. That
haters gonna hate.
Yeah, they are, and that's the one guy I don't get. Another guy this guy probably has it coming a little bit, and I understand where the hate comes on this receiver. They're calling him like a one-catch pony. That's all he did was in his career. It's Odell Beckham Jr. A lot of people are down on him. Do you think that's because of the Cleveland Browns, or do you think that he's actually not not the top guy that we all thought he was at one point?
He's talented, man. You can't deny his talent. He's amazing. Baker Mayfield, he needs to step it up. Odell, he needs to stop crying so damn much and just go make it happen. You've been crying and boo-hooing. You two need to go back up all that shit talk that you were bringing in the offseason last year and go back it up. The talent's there. They have all the talents. The Browns GM put one hell of a team together. They have to make it happen. It sucks to say, but it's just like any player that goes to the Browns, they end up, having a shitty career.
Well, and watching every sport, everybody could talk as much crap as they want until you get popped in the mouth, and then we see, what kind of man you really are and what kind of team you really are. Because I can run my mouth right here, and just because I'm behind a screen with you, and then you hit me the first time I go to Vegas, you knock me out. I'm gonna stop talking crap, right? And that's how it is. And that's how most of these teams are. They think they're better than you are, and that first game it gets in their head, and they're just done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think Odell, man, he's great. The talent's there. It seems like he works hard as hell. They just got to put it together.
Yeah.
But he does have a bad rap because he's always running his mouth. The wide receivers are the divas in the NFL for most of them. It seems like those are the wide receivers and the cornerbacks. So the guys are always complaining and bitching and boohooing. So
they're the ones that make it look pretty, though.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's who sells the tickets. So that's who. I guess they're allowed to run that mouth. They're the ones that dance all the time. They get that first down and that's
hey, let them. I love it. I love them talking shit and running their mouth and dancing in the end zone. It just brings excitement to me.
Oh, I don't disagree. If you want to talk crap all day, you could do it. But I just hope you could back it up, because at that moment that you don't back it up, you're just running your mouth for no reason.
One of my personal guys, Terrell Owens, one of my favorite players ever, he ran his mouth with the best of them. Look at his numbers. I think he's second or third all-time in touchdowns with like 150 or something crazy like that. Yeah. He backed it up. Played in the Super Bowl with a broken leg.
Yeah, he came back early for that Super Bowl, and there was no way he shouldn't be on that field. No way. But yeah, aren't they hating on him right now not to put him in the Hall of Fame? Is that him, or did they actually put him in yet?
I'm pretty sure they did, but there was like controversy of if he was going to make it. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure he did make it.
I'm trying to remember, I'm right there, but yeah, either way, if he's not in there, he should be in there. I'll have to double check, like you said, but we'll double check on that. But Terrell Owens, yeah, from his San Francisco days to Dallas days to Philly, or when he was in Philly, great wide receiver everywhere he went.
Mm-hmm.
Might not have been the best teammate, but like you said, he backed up his play.
But if you asked his teammates, at least from the interviews that I've seen, wonderful teammate too.
And that's
maybe not to Donovan McNabb though.
Yeah, but I as a teammate, I expect you to go off on me. Go off on me. If I'm messing up, go off on me, because guess what? I'm going to go off on you too. When you mess up, I'm going to go off on you, and we're going to hold each other accountable, and we're going to, basically a great team.
Yeah, I could dig that. Well, hey, my name is Mac from TalkSmackwithMac. You can find me on Instagram. I have a YouTube channel, Spotify, iTunes. Yeah, man, check me out. Talk Smack with Mac. I really appreciate it. I had a great time. This interview was great, man. And you are welcome on my show whenever. I really respect your opinion in sports.
I appreciate it, man. We're going to always have to hook up, especially if sports actually starts getting going. We're going to have to be together all the time. But like you guys heard everything that he's on. I'll list it all at the end of this. I'll even list it at the bottom so you guys can see it. Go check him out. Follow him. Give him the likes that he deserves. Great work over there. He talks a lot more basketball and UFC than I do, so it gives you more perspective on the sports world. So, just get that knowledge. Get all that knowledge that you guys can get from all of us. So I appreciate you coming on, Mac. And like I said, you guys, I'll list everything about him so you can find him easily. And basically, that's it. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, I had one hell of a time, man, and I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, thank you.